You know, I'll bet a lot of you think I'm not going to go live today because, man, I am witching it hard today. I had a couple of readings right before 4:20, and I knew the time, the clock was a ticking, that old linear time clock. But I apologize because I wasn't here. I wasn't even here at 4:30. I think I was here later than 4:30. So I'm not surprised that many of you think I'm not going to do a live stream at 4:20ish tarot. But I need to remind you all, witchery is my thing. So, I gotta let the clock just guide me. And here I am doing 4:20. A little past 4:20. I don't even know what time it is, but I do apologize because I had several readings today, and they really ran back to back. Well, hello. I see a couple people. Hello, Jane, and hello, Victoria. I appreciate you both so much. I was just saying that I bet you people think I'm not going to go live today. Found one of my oldest witch hats that I own. Ooh, ow. I was just going to say, I used to collect pins and have pins all over, and there's a remnant of a pin that just poked me in the melon. But I found this hat today, and I thought I would wear it. She is so old, she even has like a hole. I mean, I've had this hat for years, and one of my dear sister friends made it for me specific to my request. And so I've had her for a while, but just thought I would wear it and see how things were doing. So hi, hello Susan, hello Michelle, Christy Reed, hello Michelle. You're actually not late. I'm only just coming on here myself. Hi Chris Kuhn, good to see you here. Glad to have you. Yeah, I came on very myself. I had some readings today. That department has been very slow because, as most of you know, I've not been well for most of February. And for those of you that receive the e-zine, I want to just throw out there again, I appreciate very much those of you that write for it and those of you that support us by having a subscription. I know that I was terribly late in getting the February edition out. It's just like some of the events of January caught up with me, and I am just starting to feel better. And I know you all know that my health goes, it's my digestive health mostly. I mean, when I'm feeling ill, that's pretty much what it is. And, of course, doctors can't figure out what's wrong. And so Graham and I are trying to do some elimination things and see what is going on with me, because I cannot continue going like this with my health. It's just not, it's not great. And one of the things that I tell you all the time, Spirit guides me to say, remember that you can heal yourself. I don't remember, one of the things about being ill for a number of days on end is that the days kind of run together. And so I'm coming out of this like ill week going, okay, did I miss a full moon? When's the dark moon? What day is it? Like, I don't even know what day or time. I'm having such a hard time with that. But, you know, in that foggy space after you're sick, things start to line up again, but they don't feel quite normal. It feels a little bit askew. That's the limbo land that I'm in right now. But, you know, I'm often guided by spirit to remind us that we can heal ourselves. Just like, you know, I used this description the other day. I don't remember who with though. So if it was with you all, please forgive me for repeating myself. But hi, Brandon. Mwah. Good to see you. Hi, Shelby. One of the thoughts that comes up a lot is that those of us that have some kind of a chronic health condition, you know, some of us have had it for a very long time. Some of us have known that we were going to have we have a genetically coded trait that runs in the family, whether it be a heart condition or cancer in your family, or, you know, diabetes or whatever, one of those chronic ailments that really seems to follow generational patterns. Wherever you kind of find yourself, I know a lot of us expect to have a certain progression of symptoms as we get older. I know we don't expect to get better as we get older. We know we've come to learn that getting older means that your body slowly starts to break down. You know, the things that I used to be able to do when I was in my 20s, in many areas, I can't do now because I'm just not as steady as I once was. I don't have the agility like I did. You know, it's just time shifts things. However, like you've heard me say before, I don't know about I'm not some health guru, and I'm not out there trying to tell everybody, you know, to drink some weird Kool-Aid and everything's going to get better. I'm just telling you that I know we can heal ourselves more than we are doing at this point. I know that we only use a very small portion of what our brain ability is supposed to be. And I know that just like if I would, well, I did the other day, I cut my finger on a little tiny piece of glass, and I'll be darned, it was this hand. It was this hand, and it was quite deep, and it wouldn't stop bleeding right on the edge. And I have factor V Leiden, which is a genetically coded malformation. And because of factor V Leiden, I don't bleed very well. My blood coagulates really quickly. I don't know what the percentage of the populace has that same condition. It's actually quite high. So you may indeed have it as well. But I have that. So I don't usually bleed very much when I get hurt. My blood is thicker, I guess, in those moments. So, but this one was bleeding badly. It wasn't, I couldn't get it to stop. I put a Band-Aid on it though, and then, you know, like you do, you sort of forget about it. Our body knows how to heal that finger. It doesn't need us to consciously go, heal that finger. I mean, maybe when we wrap it and, you know, we wash it and care for it and we tend to our own body, that's in a way that's ministering to yourself, that is willing it to heal, putting the Band-Aid on it, knowing it's going to heal. But we don't really do that with our bigger boo-boos, do we? The bigger issues that some of us face, whether that be, like my case, asthma and this digestive health issue that I've going on. In other people's cases, it might be, fibromyalgia. It might be, a brain injury of some sort. It might be, It might be something like alcoholism or some other addiction that you're struggling with. I know that that we are able to heal ourselves. We have become very, very dependent on the pharmaceutical and medical industry. Thank heavens they're there. I mean, I'm not complaining about the helpful drugs that we've uncovered and discovered through the generations that are authentically, helping people. I also am very grateful at times when I've had to go to the hospital myself. I'm very grateful for the people in our medical field. But we must come to start acknowledging that somewhere along this journey, we have unlearned the ability to allow ourselves to heal things from the inside out. Now, I don't know what Bonnie is talking about out there. I just saw something there. She just said not true. Whatever. I don't know what you were talking about there, but I'd love to have a conversation with you. Hi. I think I said hi to Brandon. I know there was another name that came through here. Constance and Norma. Hello, hello. So I'm on this journey to kind of heal. I really want to heal myself. Am I doing it? I'm in the process of it. Have I conquered this? Am I 100% my healthiest version of me? No. It is a constant, I would say, I don't want to say battle because it's not really a battle, but it's a constant learning process of making some mistakes, learning from them, stepping back a little bit, and making some more mistakes, learning from them, stepping back a little bit, moving forward. And sometimes, I'll be honest, my finances inhibit me from really seeking the medical help that I need. We're, the boy, I feel somebody's energy just, I had to stop there for a minute because it just it is like kind of subtle, angry energy. And I don't get it. But let's just calm for a second. Maybe it's me. Let's just calm for a second, just for a second.
Bonnie is saying our food and medicines are compromised.
Oh, absolutely our food and medicines are compromised. Oh, I absolutely know they're compromised, but we're not at a place yet in our world where the majority of the populace out there is ready to let that go. But I am certain that the more of us that have this conversation, like you do, Bonnie, and other people do, remembering that we've lost so much of our own divinity. We've kind of just let it sort of fall away because we feel, and I'm talking collective humanly, the majority we, not how we feel, you and I, but, humanity has, at least the westernized humanity that is kind of where we're all sort of evolving here. We have separated so much from our God source, our divine selves. We were taught along the way that we couldn't reach that it was unattainable for us, that somehow you either had to be like a king or godlike, or you had to, pay the church to do it for you. And somewhere along the way where our fore grandmothers and grandfathers sought to heal with medicines that they created with their own hands from the roots of the earth and the plants that grow here. Somehow, we all know what happened, why it was kind of scared out of the general public that they shouldn't be tampering with herbs and charms and amulets and talismans and sigils and divination. They were afraid of it because of people that were supposedly witches just like me and just like many of you out there. I feel that, I'm going to tell you one more story. It's some of you have heard it. I apologize if you had, but Grim and I both used to share. We had a familiar that we shared together. His name is Teegan. He's still around, but he crossed over just shy of 16 years a few years ago, in 2020 actually. But a few years before that, actually before Nevaeh was even brought into this world, I was pregnant with Nevaeh. Little Teegan, he was the short little, he was I can't even think. What was he? He was a basset hound and no, blue heeler mix. And anyway, so he was long and low, and he jumped up. He was really excited. He saw our car pulling in one day. Grim was outside. I was with someone. I don't remember. And the dog ran toward me, and he jumped over this little flower box ledge thingy, and he didn't clear it with his little hind legs. And so he ran, right into this window or this flower box with his belly, and immediately started yipping to high heaven. I mean, he was in pain. So we took him right away to the emergency vet, and long story short, several days go by and he's not getting any better. Things are actually getting worse. And I told Grim, come home now. He was at work that day. I said, I don't think the dog's going to make it. I literally think you need to come home now. And so he came right home, and he took Teegan back to the emergency vet. And the vet was ready to put Teegan down. They were showing all kinds of, his labs were coming back horrible, and his liver and kidneys were shutting down, and it was not looking good. And just before, I mean, the doc got all the prep work ready, ran the IV lines. She was letting Grim say goodbye. And she said, wait a minute, I want to check something else. And she checked, and he had actually, we found out it wasn't his back that was injured or his liver that was, irreparably damaged. His bladder is what had, basically when he landed, he ruptured his bladder, and he had urine spilling all over the cavity of his body, right? Nasty. Poor guy. He was really, really sick. But she, took the fluid off his tummy, and once she realized what it was, we were so grateful to that vet, because she didn't have to put him down. He was maybe 11 at that time. So, but in the background, Grim and I are talking, well, my God, I mean, we can't afford dog bladder surgery. I mean, how much is that even going to cost us? We need to figure out what our next step is. And the vet came in and said that what she wanted to do was put a balloon in his bladder. And, like they put a balloon in some people's arteries or whatever to expand things out. They wanted to put a balloon in there so that the bladder could grow back around it. And I said, wait a minute. His bladder ruptured. He doesn't need surgery. She goes, no. She goes, it'll heal by itself. We just need to give it the structure, and the bladder cells will recreate new ones and build right over that balloon, and then we let the balloon out once the structure is restarted. It doesn't even take that long. And I said, well, I thought you were going to tell me he needed surgery. She goes, nobody ever told dogs they can't heal. And that stuck with me for so long, well, years now, because it really does drive home the fact that things can repair if we believe that they can. If we believe that they can improve, they can. But if we are sold on, this is a condition that I'm going to have for the rest of my life, then guess what? You're going to have it for the rest of your life, because every time you reaffirm that, every time you think that set in stone, say it out loud to someone, in some ways you might say, well, Gussie, I'm also just reaffirming my absolute truth. I mean, I know this isn't going to get better. It doesn't have a cure. And I understand that. I do. And I know chronic illness is not something that's easy to deal with. And I'm not trying to say flippantly, oh, let's just go heal ourselves, because obviously I'm still trying to work this out too. And I noticed down there, like Chris Kuhn says, I've been taking juniper juice and fire cider daily for the last few months and feel pretty good. That is awesome. I do believe in the power of our, herbal medicines like that. I've never tried juniper juice other than in an ale. But I could see where that would be extremely healing. So I'm glad that's working out for you. Juniper, we need to put juniper on our herbal list, Grim.
Okay.
Grim and I are in the middle of, we've got the next 2 years of Wart Cunning Wednesdays figured out. And those of you that are in the guild, I know things have been a little rocky. We keep trying to say we'll get things out ahead of time, and then we don't. We've just been really backed up, and not literally. It's been the opposite for me. But February has been a big challenge in that department. So I haven't felt well, but we're still plugging away, and we are still doing our thing. And we appreciate all of you that have stood behind us as much as you have through this. It's really been like roller coastery since September. I'm not complaining or sharing trauma here. I'm just telling you that those of you that know us know it's been pretty rocky. One thing after another. I know a lot of you are in the same boat, having the same rockiness going on out there. And I just want to say, I am so grateful for those of you that I know stand behind me, and I stand behind you. Grim stands behind you. It means a lot to know that we're all, getting through this together one way or another. Golly darn it, I haven't even pulled a tarot card today, and I'm hoping that you're hearing the message that, I'm looking for a way to cure this. I know that there are some things that I can do medicinally, that I could do to help myself, that I'm hoping to be able to do. I don't trust all of my ability to create I'm just going to be honest. I'm talking edibles here. I don't mess around with edibles. I don't have I want to. I like them when I have them. I use them when I have them, but I don't know enough about the science about creating them. And I know back in high school, people in the 80s would be like, there was no recipe. You just sort of threw it in there and, called them green brownies. But I know there's a science to it, especially if you want to medicinally heal yourself using that particular plant or wort, if you will. And I know there's a lot of goodness inside of it that we're just now beginning to understand. I'm not surprised that we're getting some feedback out there about how it's supposed to cause heart conditions and stroke increasing or whatever. But, it's bound to have its people that are naysayers about it, just like everything out there that's, healthy or good for us. But, I'm glad that there are people out there that question things, because it causes us to question things ourselves and hopefully do a little more research on your own. That's what it's all about. By the way, if Bonnie's still here or not, I don't know if she is, but if any of you ever have any green witch questions, a little 420 kind of question, she's a really great resource. She knows quite a bit about that plant, as does Jerry. Jerry's on here from time to time. He does, and so does, I hope she doesn't mind me saying this, but I think Chris Kuhn has a fair amount of knowledge too. So if anybody's interested in learning more, any one of those folks would be a great guide. All right, I'm pulling a card for the group today. Still using my favorite old deck, the Tarot Apocalyptica. I can't seem to replace it. Okay, today's card for the group is the Four of Cups in the reverse position. That's what it looks like. This is what it looks like in the upright position. All right, let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Woo. I just felt like this flow of ancestral energy just now. Like, I feel like they were all politely waiting for me to stop talking. Like, that's the general impression I've got. Like, they were just like, you know how if you're in the middle of a concert or a play or something, even if you got to pee really bad, you stay in your seat and just wiggle and squeeze because you don't want to get up and go all the way, like in a movie theater or something. Oh, it's terrible to be the, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't mean to step on you. So you wait and you hold it. Why I'm talking about that, I have no flipping clue. It just completely left my mind. Yeah, that's a gussy moment, all right. Anyways, for some reason I was talking about holding it during a concert, and I don't know why. So hopefully somebody learned something from that. The Four of Cups in the reverse position. First of all, I just need to remind you that even when you think you've done all your shadow work, there's always a shadow or two lingering around. It isn't that you have not earned it or that you haven't done enough. It's just that you have to realize that these things unfold in their divine timing. And so you're not meant to handle all the shadow work all at once. You're not meant to, tackle it in one, huge gulp. You're supposed to, it gets dished out little by little by little. That's the part where our understanding comes in. That's where we kind of give over to that level of understanding. So, don't punish yourself if I say, or that you still have shadow work to do. We all do. People, if someone is out there claiming that they've done all their shadow work, and by the way, I don't really get into these a lot because I kind of tend to do my own thing, as y'all know. But I do know that there are people out there that are selling like shadow work workbooks and, step-by-step shadow work, how you can do it, blah, blah, blah. You never hear them say that they're completely through their own, because they're not, because we're not, because that's part of this human existence. That's why we are having a physical body experience, so that we can let these unfold as they go. Believe it or not, we wanted, on some level, we needed, maybe not wanted, but needed to experience some of the pain that we've felt. We've needed to experience some of those moments of elation and then those moments of deflation. We've needed to feel those ups and downs, those real human, raw, emotional moments. That's been part of our learning journey, and we never stop learning. So when I say this card is telling me that there's still shadows in the future, that should come as no surprise to any of us, because it's just part of it. It's part of it. Oh yes, the whoosh of ancestors. Thank you. Yes, that's what it was. I felt like I was yapping, and they were just waiting, holding it until intermission, and I stopped talking and they could run to the bathroom. They came rushing in around us. Have felt a lot of grandmother energy lately, a lot of grandmother energy lately. And I think, when I step back and I think about it, it's that nurturing, uplifting, but strong feminine energy that a lot of us equate with who our grandmothers were or are. If you were not fortunate enough to know your grandmother, that's okay. You can still tap into her energies simply by calling her name, asking her to be with you. I never met my grandmothers either. The grandmother that I give credit to for teaching me a lot about cards and whatnot is I call her Grandma Susie, but she was actually my mother's eldest sister, so she was actually my aunt. but she served as grandma to me. And you might not know who your grandmothers were. You might not have ever met them, but that doesn't mean you don't have the right or a reason to not call on them. They are part of your bloodline. They are part of this journey. They are very much a part of your genetic DNA. They're part of who you are, material-wise, all of the elements that make you who you are. And so call on that grandmotherly energy. I know all of us can have, we could use some extra love right now. There's a lot of folks that are, having some turmoil in their lives. So grandma energy, absolutely. Strength, love, nurturing, all of it. I know that I'm speaking to a few of you when I say you're on the outside. Well, the phrase is normally you're on the outside looking in, but in your case, it's more like you're on the inside looking out. You've got your nose pressed against the window, looking outside at what's around you. And I know it kind of feels like it's not the same world that it was before. Somehow, somewhere, something shifted. And, we've been talking about going to like a different dimension for a while, that we're shifting density and dimensions. And it only makes sense that this becomes a struggle for our physical bodies, because it's a vibrational frequency shift as we move through these points of time. And some of you are really keeping yourselves offline. And I want you to know that's okay too. It's okay too if you choose to hermit right now. Totally understandable. It's, for most of us, it's still winter. Although the weather here in Michigan has been super wonky and it feels like spring more than winter. But still, it's that time of year to go inward, to be self-reflective. And so I'm also telling you, just like boy, struggling with words today because I just completely forgot what I was going to say. It's okay to be hermiting. It's okay. If you're choosing to hermit, don't punish yourself for it. So what I mean by that is hermit and don't be all apologetic to people about it. If they know you and love you, you should just be able to say, listen, I got to go do my thing for a while. Don't be offended. If I don't respond right away, I will respond eventually. Sometimes we are required to do that for ourselves. And if they get all puffed up and angry about it, then, because sometimes you got to go inward. If you're going to go inward, then go inward without guilt. Okay? Don't sass yourself over how you're not doing these things that you're supposed to do because you're feeling like staying home and just being a hermit. However, I want you to be prepared that when this springtime energy rolls around, you're going to feel such a pull to go outside. You're going to feel such a pull to be with other folks. Maybe not like, deeply intimate gatherings or anything like that, but I feel like some kind of community for you is going to be really important. So start kind of talking to your higher self about how that's going to look, feel, and sound when you get to the springtime. What is going out into the world going to mean to you? What do you think it's going to be? Is it going to be a yoga class? Is it going to be just walking in the park more often? Is it going to be taking your dog to a dog training class? Are you looking for a church to hang out at? I mean it. I mean, there are a lot of Christian witches, so don't scoff. What is it that you're kind of needing? This is the perfect time to plan for it. Just like we plan for the gardens that we're, going to be hopefully taking care of this spring and summer and fall. We start to plan now what seeds we're going to put in the garden. So this is time for you to plan now. What seeds are you going to plant out there. Put them out in front of you and know that your time is coming where you're not going to be on the inside looking out anymore, but a little more involved. And that's okay too. You'll be able to go back and hermit when it's time. It doesn't mean it's forever. It's kind of like, any bunny or any prairie dog or little rodent pokes its head out of the hole for a while and gets a little bit of vitamin D and then goes back into its little trail and habitat underground. We're sort of similar. We need our seasons to go dark. We need our seasons to be reflective and just be quiet with ourselves. And, I'm proud of you for doing that when you do it for yourself. I'm proud of me when I do it for myself without punishing, without pointing my finger saying you should be doing. But know that when springtime comes, I'm going to be challenging you and challenging myself to get on out there. Get on out there and remember, you can heal. You can heal. You surely can. Okay, everyone, I think that's about it. I just got to do my little blurb like I do at the end. After I sneeze, hold on. I see a couple of other names here that I missed. I see Tammy Gibson here, and I see Angela Turley. I saw her name floating by. So hello to you and anybody I missed. I'm sorry if I missed your name. I'm also wanting to let you know that I have got my fingers crossed that Monday is our first Monday of the month. So on Monday, you're supposed to see me at 420 Tarot because I'm healthy. And then you'll see me and Grimm at 7 o'clock for our first Monday of the month. And we're going to be talking about, I don't remember what we're going to be talking about. We were really supposed to talk about karma in February, but we didn't do such a bang-up job about that. So we'll probably talk a little bit about karma, and then we're going to talk about our new topic of the month, which is crystal, alchemy of crystals. So stay tuned on that front. That's going to be interesting. Also, every night at 9 p.m., Pause for Peace. I love that there's more and more witches going on there and just clocking in what time that they paused. It means a lot, and I know that our energy flow is super important. I know I used that energy flow to heal my finger I cut just a few days ago. It is something that when we started Pause for Peace, I had no idea that it was going to be as important to me as it is every day. And I hope that it's something that you find for yourself equally comforting and a time that you look forward to at the end of the night. So 9 p.m. your time, wherever you live, 9 p.m., take a few moments out for yourself to just focus, release, tensions. We've been putting out a focus word of the day that Susan's been diligently kind of sorting through. We have 30 different words, so you'll see them rotate through again. If you missed it the first time, they'll come back around. But that's a really great way to just give yourself a little energy treat at the end of the night. Also, if you're a guild leader, we have a meeting next Thursday. Just throwing that out there. And if you would like a copy of the e-zine, Grimm gave away some freebies to some folks this week. If you're interested, in a subscription, take a look at what it looks like. And then you might find that you want to subscribe to the Purple Door e-zine. And if you do, let me know, or Grimm know, or Susan know, or any one of the guild leaders know. Or go to our website. No, go to our Patreon. I think they both have it there, actually. You just got to dig. But you can find our Purple Door e-zine readily available. It is $4.20 a month. That's all for a really cool compendium of witchy knowledge. All right, I'm sure I forgot to mention something. Oh, right. Today's the 1st. Don't forget to blow cinnamon in your front door. In the front door, not out the front door. You're blowing good luck in the front door. All right. Love you muchly. I'll see you on Monday. I hope you all have a fantastic, energy-filled, blessed weekend. And for those of you that are having some difficult times, know that my heart and my love go with you. And please, please, know that our purple cauldron of energy is available to you. It's virtual, but it's out there. You can't see it, but you can feel it. Stay magical.